I'm Trina, and in this video I want to give you a single book recommendation for a book that is unfortunately pretty underrated, and it's not getting a lot of attention even though it contains a lot of the same topics that really popular books right now contain as well. So I definitely think that there is appeal for this book, and I want to make sure that people know about it. And the book I'm talking about is called Toads and Diamonds by Heather Tomlinson. This book was published in 2010, and it is a fairy tale retelling, and this is also a diverse read because even though it is technically a fictional town, the setting and the culture are very, very reminiscent of India. I think that readers who liked An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir or The Wrath in the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh would really enjoy this one too, because the setting is kind of similar to those two books. And if you liked The Wrath in the Dawn particularly, I think you will like this one as well because it does have very similar descriptive writing, and it also is a retelling of a tale that isn't as widely popular. Now I'm going to tell you what this book is about and what tale it was based on, and then I will finish out this video by giving you my quick little review. Toads and Diamonds is based on a French fairy tale that is usually attributed to Charles Perrault. The original fairy tale was called Diamonds and Toads, so just the title is reversed, and it was about a woman that had two daughters. One was very beautiful, her favorite daughter, and then the other daughter was younger, and I think she was a stepdaughter. She wasn't as favored, so she usually had to do all the housework and the chores and stuff like that. And one day the younger daughter has to go down to the well to bring home water, and she encounters an old woman at the well who says, "I'm thirsty," and the younger daughter gives her a cup of water. Turns out that the old woman is a fairy, and because of the young daughter's kindness, the fairy bestows a blessing on the daughter to where anytime she speaks, diamonds, gems, and flowers fall out of her mouth. So the young daughter returns home and reveals her gift to her mother and her older sister, and the mother is like, "Whoa, we're gonna be rich. Let me send my favorite daughter, the pretty one, out to the well so that she can be blessed with the same gift so that we can be rich and she can marry a prince," or whatever. So the older, beautiful daughter goes to the well, and this time the fairy appears as a very beautiful princess, and she asks for a cup of water. But the older daughter is really snooty to the princess and is quite a brat to her, so the princess again reveals that she is actually a fairy, and instead of blessing her with flowers and gems, she curses her so that every time the older daughter speaks, frogs and snakes fall out of her mouth. So when she returns home and it is found out that she is cursed, the mother basically evicts her and she dies in the woods alone. So this original tale was basically a lesson in being kind to strangers who you meet. Toads and Diamonds is pretty much the same tale, but it is set in India, and it definitely expands on it because the original tale was quite short. There are two daughters. One of them encounters a Indian goddess at the well and is given the gift of flowers and diamonds to fall out of her mouth, and then when the second daughter goes and tries to get the same blessing, she is blessed with the snakes and toads falling out of her mouth instead. But in this world, the daughter who has the flowers and the gems, she does get the attention of a prince, but she also has people that want to kill her and use her ability for bad. Whereas the daughter who is spitting out the snakes, again, she is banished because this talent of hers is feared, but it turns out that their city is actually going through a plague of rats, and snakes eat rats. So her curse might actually be a blessing, and the flowers and diamonds blessing might actually be a curse. So it just is exploring that theme in kind of a twisted way, and there is a love interest for both of these girls in the story. My rating for Toads and Diamonds was actually 3 stars, so I kind of felt middle of the road about it, and I really enjoyed the story and the way that it was twisted. I enjoyed seeing the different trials that these two sisters had to go through due to the gifts that they had been given, and just the culture was so totally different. The writing was really beautiful. There are definitely some scenes that have stuck out in my head. I still remember them very vividly, even though I read this book, I would say probably 4 years ago. But the reason I gave it 3 stars instead of higher is because I did feel like the ending left a few things open that I was curious about. And it is a standalone, so unfortunately I just never got some answers to those things. But I guess looking back, it really didn't take away from my opinion of it. And I do think of this book fondly, so I think that, like, in hindsight, it's more accurately like a 4-star book for me, but I don't really change my ratings after a year away from a book. But the bottom line is I would definitely recommend this book today, especially to people who like unusual fairy tale retellings and kind of diverse reads. It's very unfortunate that this book hasn't gotten as much attention, and I really hope that this video kind of brings it to your attention, and maybe some people will find a new book that they absolutely love, because it's definitely worth checking out. These are actually very beautiful chapter titles. That's very beautiful. Kind of want to reread this now. I definitely hope that you will check this book out, and if you do read it, please come back and let me know what you thought of it, or if you have by chance already read it, let me know what you thought of it down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the comments. Bye!